Okay. For Halloween, I threw a party at my house. There was these two guys. One was playing beer pong. The other one was just standing there. The other guy spilled beer on the other guy on accident without saying sorry, and then got into a big old fight. I have a quote from John Wayne saying, "Never apologize and never explain. It's a sign of weakness." And I disagree because I think if you do something to someone, you should always apologize, even though you didn't mean it. I know when I walk through the halls and someone bumps me, I'm just like staring at them like, you better say something. I'm sorry. I had a friend for over 10 years. We had our like ups and downs, but I think it's because we were so much alike, we've always like clashed. I took her into my house because she was having problems at her house, and she would always do things that would get me irritating. Like she wouldn't clean up after herself. She would just take my clothes. She would just do everything that I don't like, and she would never apologize. And I would always like dust it off because she was my friend. And it got to the point to where I had to like kick her out because she wouldn't apologize. And that's the easiest thing to do, is just say sorry. And I think it's different with girls and guys. I don't think I see much guys say sorry to their friends than I do with girls. And I think it's more dramatic when girls say sorry because it's all crying and I'm sorry, like, and I think you should always say sorry for everything you do. It doesn't make you look weak. It makes the other person feel like, okay, whether they mean it or not, they're saying sorry. Like, get over it.
tattooed on it. That is what you do. They're cool. My father had that tattoo. Never thought it was me. The girls, I did.
Because you have.
Because they're a girl.
What?
I'm not apologizing to God.
All right, I like the Halloween party story at the beginning to get our attention. It ties in with your thesis pretty effectively, and you've got a clear point of view about what you're trying to say. There ought to be a little bit more structure to what you've got here. You've got basically just a single example that you're going to be able to use to illustrate your point. It's a nice story. I hope it's a nice story. I don't know if your friend is still friends with you after you kick them out. We don't quite get a resolution on that issue, but it does nicely illustrate the point that you're talking about, and that is why it's important to say you're sorry, because it affects the way people perceive their relationship with you and whether or not you're going to be able to get along. On the delivery issues, like I said, there's not really a preview, there's not really an organizational structure, there's just the one point. I mentioned to it a few minutes ago with the Karen speech, at least though you have a point that you're trying to make, you make it pretty clearly, and it's reasonable for the topic that you have. So that you're ahead of the game for a lot of people in that situation. Presentation, your voice projects pretty well. I think you need a little bit more variety in your tone. You're going to have to stretch your range a little bit to make it more interesting. The pacing is okay. Gestures, there were some indicators. Your facial expressions, I thought within the confines of the subject matter that you're talking about, I thought you seemed reasonably animated, but you had really good audience contact. You're talking to us for the most part, and I think that that's really effective. Notice how I looked up to actually talk to you when I'm saying that. Made me think of it instead of just looking down and reading. I think when you get to the video and you watch, you'll notice that the end of your speech seems really abrupt. It's sort of like you hit the bat turn, you out comes the parachute and suddenly we stop, it's that kind of thing. Whoa, you're done. And that just seemed a bit premature. I think you could probably have led us into it a little bit more effectively. Appreciate it, thank you.